Okay, how are you feeling about 2024? Are you feeling like you're on fire? You feel like you're nailing it, you're lit up, you're like reaching those goals, you're absolutely killing it, you're completely flowing, it's all happening for you, you're dedicated, you're devoted, you're feeling productive? Or are you maybe feeling like you just haven't been able to get it going yet? You just feel like there's something still blocking you and getting in the way of you creating that life that you truly deserve and desire? Do you feel like even though you're doing the things, you're showing up, you're taking the action, there's just still something that's stopping you? Do you feel like you know what it is you want to create, and maybe you even have the vehicle to create it, but for some reason there's just something that is stopping you from being able to take that perfectly imperfect action, to turn that vision into reality? Well, if you are feeling like that, no worries at all, because I'm so excited to share with you that I have just released my 3 month program, Activate 10x. This is a program that I have run live in the past, and I have decided to turn it into a self-paced program that you can tap into at any time to help you create 10x more in your life. More confidence, more happiness, more love, more success, more clarity. Like, imagine if you could have more fun, create better boundaries and advocate for yourself, make more money, build better relationships, know your worth, take more risks, put yourself out there, go after what you want, be the leader you know you can be, nourish yourself, right? And fully support yourself at the same time. What would life look like for you if you could activate 10x more of that? And that is exactly what this program is for. This program is for you if, you're tired of asking for permission or waiting for someone to come and save you. You're tired of looking for validation from outside of yourself. You know that you have everything you need within you now. If you could just step out of the shadows and tap into it. This is for you if, you're paralyzed constantly by procrastination or avoidance anxiety. This is for you if you just have this rocket of desire to create a life you are proud of and you finally feel ready to take the action to do it. This is for you if you're ready to build yourself back up and become the best woman out there. Or if you're ready to activate your courage and build unstoppable confidence. So if any of that sounds like what you are looking for in the last quarter of 2024, there is never a better time than spring, right? To reconnect with our goals for the year and that vision we have for ourselves and our life, to rise strong. This program is for you. So by signing up for this program, it's completely self-paced, self-directed learning. Take your time. You'll get access to 12 powerful trainings that cover transformational tools that you need to activate your courage and build unstoppable confidence. You'll get access to activations, audios, and templates to support your growth. You'll get access to a workbook to support your learning throughout each phase of the program. And also you'll receive exclusive opportunities to access my ongoing support via my other coaching programs and packages. So if you have been looking for something to give you that spring energy, that spring vibe, that spring cleaning, or maybe just that loving kick up the butt to go out there and take the action you know you need to take, or to find a way to take action that feels true and correct and supportive for you, then you definitely want to head to the show notes and check out my 12-week program, Activate 10x, that you can now access in your own time via your very own members portal. All right, enjoy the episode. Are you ready to find your voice, fulfill your purpose, build unstoppable confidence? And are you ready to learn how to trust, accept, and love yourself enough to do the work to create what you want in life? Oh, and do you want to learn how to do it without burning yourself out, sacrificing what matters most, or compromising on your values? then you're in the right place. I'm your host, Crystal Stanton, a certified coach, human design enthusiast, entrepreneur, and podcast host on a mission to guide women into their true, authentic success, to help them recognize their power and to step out from the shadows and into the woman they were always meant to be. Around here, we don't do grey, unaligned versions of our life. We don't settle for what we should be happy with. Around here, we do big, bold, courageous, fulfilled, rich lives, and we do it in an aligned, nourished, and truly authentic way. If that sounds like the life you want, then stick around and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fearless. So, if you are watching on YouTube, you will have seen that we're in a different location today. We have moved into a house. Oh my gosh. And well, actually, if you only ever listen to the podcast on Apple or Spotify, then you may not know this, but for the last almost 2 years, my family and I have been living in a caravan, which has been awesome. But we've recently decided to move back into a house and enjoy house life again. And it feels really weird, but also really cool. Having a base and having a bit more space to spread out feels really expansive and really nourishing right now. Like, yeah, it's weird because we honestly didn't think we wanted to live in a house anymore. We didn't think it was something we wanted to do. We really had this vision that we were just going to be these nomads, and that vision did not play out the way that we thought it did at all. We didn't really live the nomad life at all, and found ourselves in Yeppoon in Queensland, not really that far from where we started. And we just sort of thought to ourselves, why are we trying so hard to leave this place? We love it here. We feel really settled. We love the community. Anyway, we decided, okay, let's new path. And, my husband and I both are practicing, learning, running our human design experiment. We used our strategy and authority. I specifically as a manifesting generator, so I'm here to respond and inform, and then I have an emotional authority. So for me, that process looked like putting the intention out into the universe. Okay, new sort of life path. We have this idea of moving out of a van and into a home. Like, send me some signs in the physical world, some things that I can respond to. And the universe did that. And as I received those signs and that information, that communication from the universe in the way I'm designed to receive it, it all just fell into place. It flowed so easily. It's Christmas time, right? It's December when I'm recording this. And we were like, we have a monthly income. So we get paid monthly. That's the way our income works at the moment. And so we were like, oh, it's Christmas month. We know we have X amount of money at this point in time. Like, I don't know, if we move into a house, we'd have to buy all new furniture because we sold everything when we moved into the van. So we didn't have any furniture. I'm like, oh, like bond and 2 weeks upfront rent. And then to buy all the furniture at Christmas time, like, oh, I don't know. Literally the next day, a house fully furnished popped up. We applied. Within a week, it was ours, and now we're in it. So, like, so cool. So a little segue there, a little example of, following your strategy and authority to put you on the most aligned path, because it just feels so expansive being in a home. And I think we really had gotten to a point in the van where we were trying to force it to happen. We were trying to force things to happen, and we were ignoring where it wasn't working for us, where it actually wasn't aligning with the new life we were trying to create, because the people we were when we moved into the van are very different people to the people we are now. And we had this big vision and these big goals, and much better habits and standards, which were actually really hard to maintain inside the van. And one example is like around planning and working in a small space, having to do everything digitally on my laptop. I am a tactile person, so I love to have things up on the wall and to be able to visually see it. Yes, I know you can have a digital calendar, you can see it, but something about it just doesn't translate the same way for me. So tonight we're really excited because we're going to go get a big wall calendar for 2025. I'm going to map it all out, and then we will put it into digital format so we have it with us on the go. But yeah, just the energy and the feeling of being in this space is really cool. And it's, you know, if I had been trying to create this with my logical mind, I would have fought this tooth and nail, because I'm like, no, I don't want to live in a house. I want to have freedom. I want to be a nomad. And sort of just lent into following the things the universe was sending me to respond to. And it all was putting us on this path of, yes, a home base in this town you're in right now is exactly what you need at this point in time. And it happens so easily and it feels amazing. And the girls love it. Oh my God, like watching them run around in their own bedroom, and it's just beautiful. So, little segue, little Manigen side story there, side quest. Today's episode, I really want to start a little series within the show. You know, I love having guests on the show. I'm very much about that, like tribal circuitry and, you know, the collective spirit. So having guests on the show, absolutely my favorite. But I'm also do some solo episodes, and I had this little idea of like a series of solo episodes I could do. And they're all based around this pack of oracle cards that, this is why that story dropped in at the beginning, that I actually picked up when we're in the process of seeking things to respond to in the external world around this decision of moving out of the van and into a house. Because I went to the shop to get something else, and I sat in the car and I said, okay, universe, like we have this decision to make, right? So your strategy and your authority is your decision-making process. It's how you're energetically designed to make decisions that are true and correct for you. So I sat in the car, and as a manifesting generator, the idea is you put an intention out to the universe and you wait for things to respond to, external things outside of you to respond to, that you then use your authority to make the decision from. Also then informing people of the direction of that energy as a manager. And so I said, right, universe, we have this decision to make. Like, we are considering moving out of the van and into a house. Like, please send me some signs that I can respond to, or send me some things to respond to in my external reality. And I went into the shop with no intention to go anywhere near the book section, but I was just like, I'm going to go look at the book section. And this pack of oracle cards grabbed me straight away, like grabbed my attention straight away. The energy of these cards was like, you must get these cards. So I got them. And I went back into the car and was like, I'm just going to pull some cards about this decision. Anyway, I ended up pulling 5 cards, and all of them were confirming the decision to move into the house. So there you go. That's why that story popped up at the beginning. Now, I want to do a little series of podcast episodes. This oracle pack is called the Time Traveler's Oracle. It is my new favorite. I absolutely love it. I've used it for a lot of different things. One really cool thing that I'm using this pack for is my soul sister, Anya Hughes, who has been on the show before and I think needs to come on again. We catch up weekly via Zoom, because she's on the opposite side of the country to me. And we do these quantum energetic light working sessions. And we've started using this pack as a guide of, you know, okay, what past life are we visiting, or what themes are we going to explore? And it's been really cool. So what I'm going to do is a little series called the Time Traveler's Oracle series on the podcast, where I'm going to pull a card and I'm going to share the Time Traveler's message from the deck itself. And then obviously tune into my own channel and my own wisdom and share my own insights around it. So I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments. Is that cool? Is this cool? Like, is it a vibe? Are you here for it? And I mean, I'm going to do it anyway and see how it goes. So, but also, yeah, give me some feedback on it. So that's what today's episode is going to be about. So I'm going to get the cards out. And this is a Hay House pack. And I am going to reference Denise Lynn is the creator of these oracle cards. They are absolutely beautiful as well. Little side note, I have always been obsessed with history, but specifically ancient history. Haha, lol, jokes, universe, put in all those little clues in there, right? That I have had multiple past lives and I am here as a light worker to raise the frequency of humanity and have my own spiritual gifts and all that stuff. The clues are always there. They've always been there. So always been obsessed with ancient history. Like I wasn't the kid that wanted to go to Disneyland. I wanted to go to Egypt and Machu Picchu. That was me as a kid. And funnily enough, since doing my own Akashic record readings with Anya and then doing our own quantum sessions together, I have had lifetimes, multiple lifetimes in those places. So love it. Just love the full circle moments once you start exploring the quantum realm and exploring your spirituality and your connection to spirit and source. It's so much fun. All right, I'm going to shuffle the deck and pull a card. Okay, so today's card is happiness, and the time period or the location is Shambhala in the Himalayas. Thank you, Land Cruiser going past right there. And it's funny because I actually pulled this card inside the Fearless Collective the other day. So if you're looking for a place, a community where you can, you know, transform your life from the inside out, where you can find like-minded people, where you can start to explore your own connection to source, your spiritual gifts, cosmic gifts, all of that stuff, come and find us in the Fearless Collective on Facebook. That's a free Facebook group. Or you can come and join the exclusive members group, the Fearless Collective. That's a monthly membership, do a bunch of stuff. I'll put some, what are they called? Links in the show notes for you to check that out. But I specifically pulled this card the other day inside the Fearless Collective. And I'm going to read the time traveler's message, but this card is perfect for this specific time of year, right? Like we're coming up to Christmas, we're coming up to a holiday season, we're coming up to a time that should be full of happiness and joy and light. But quite often for people can be tense, can be overwhelming, you know, can bring up a lot of things for us around people pleasing and boundaries and stuff. So this is a perfect card. Okay, so this is the time traveler's message. Actually, I'll give you a little bit about the location. Okay, so we're in Shambhala. It's located in the desolate Himalayan mountains between Tibet and Mongolia, and it feels timeless here. The mountains around us are craggy, snow-covered, and glistening with ice, but we drop down into a valley of lush green vegetation. So even if you want to just like close your eyes and picture that, the air is fragrant with the scent of flowers. The Sanskrit name Shambhala means the source of happiness. Aren't we all searching for that source of happiness? In Tibetan tradition, it is known as a mythical spiritual valley kingdom of majestic beauty. However, we speak to lamas who tell us that Shambhala is real, and so we set off to find it. So it's not just a place within ourselves, it's a real place. The residents of this rarefied valley come forward to greet us. We feel so safe and accepted exactly as we are. There's a luxuriant grace, serenity, and vitality in the people who live here. They seem illuminated by spirit. We agree that we feel we can totally relax. It's the most joyous place we've ever visited. It's okay to be happy. Truly. What a place to be. What a place to be. So here's the time traveler's message. What this place, this time, this card is trying to communicate with us. And as always with these types of things, it's about listening and feeling into what resonates for you, right? And yes, there's a written message here, but what is the message specifically for you? So the time traveler's message, This is the time to do what gives you joy. What gives you joy? So be still, be open, be happy. The sweet nectar of life is awaiting you. You don't need to suffer to grow. It is not more noble to put the happiness of others ahead of your own. True joy comes from listening to the whispers of your soul and taking action. Today, take steps to expand your happiness. Maybe you can't get it all done today, but you need to start somewhere, so why not now? If you wait for circumstances to be different, you may never begin. Do not put off happiness. Support is all around you if you just open your heart to receive it. If you've been waiting for your happy ending, know that it's time to stop being a seeker and become a finder. This card is so beautiful. And also, of course, very much in alignment with the transits of this month. So, this isn't a deep area of expertise and knowledge for me, but I literally was listening to an episode on the Human Design podcast yesterday, the transits episode for December. I only listened to it once while I was driving, so probably not the most deep listening I could have, but what I did pick up was there's a lot of themes in the different planetary placements and the activated gates this month that specifically are around this idea of be still and be open and go inward and take time to reflect on yourself. Actually put focus and attention on self, not everybody else, especially in the days leading up to Christmas. I can't remember exactly the gates, but go and listen to that episode. But there's very specific gates that are literally all about this focus on self before Christmas, and that's going to create a lot of clarity for you on what does happiness actually mean to you? What does it look like? What do you want that to look like going into next year? And it is a big theme around this being still and being open. And just as a reminder for this time of year when there is a demand, right, on your time, attention, love, energy from other people, to really be intentional in scheduling time in just for you and for yourself. Yes, Christmas is a time where we celebrate with the people we love the most, our nearest and dearest. But that doesn't mean we need to abandon ourselves, right? That doesn't mean we need to put all of the really important things we've built through the year, like all of the really important habits and boundaries we've built through the year, down to accommodate for others. It's about how do we find the happiness in these moments, and how do we meld these things together? And perhaps maybe what sort of traditions or patterns of behavior do we need to change at this time of year? Like what sort of patterns of behavior or emotional habits do we have around Christmas, themes that constantly come up that maybe we need to change this year so that we can be in this place of Shambhala wherever we are, this sense of happiness, because this is the time to do what gives you joy. A lot of us have, and it may be limited, a lot of us generally have some time off around this time of year. Maybe you don't. But if you do, really, really make sure you're scheduling some of that time to do what brings you joy, not just filling that time with others. We yes, fill our cup and connect on a deep soul level with people, but also make sure that you have some time aside for you and what you need, because it's in that stillness, in those moments of stillness, and when we are experiencing joy, because that's such a high frequency. Love and joy, they're not really just emotions, they are frequencies. And the more we can hold that frequency within our body and within our energetic body, the more magnetic we become, and the faster we can manifest the things that we want, the easier it can be for us to heal and grow and evolve and expand. So really taking some intentional time in this time of year to take those steps to expand your happiness and really know, what is it that makes me happy? Am I doing a bunch of stuff that doesn't make me happy? And if I am, what do I need to do about that? It can be some hard questions. It can be something we avoid a lot. This tends to be a place where a lot of us, if we do have that sense of feeling stuck, or we are stuck, it's because of these exact questions that we don't want to ask ourselves. Because if we ask ourselves those questions and we do realize there are things in our life that we have to change, that requires a lot of work and energy and difficult conversations and implementing different habits and actually changing things so that change can come. That's a whole podcast episode in itself. A lot of us will, instead of changing things, we just add new things, add more things. We don't replace other things with change. So we're not actually changing anything. We're actually just adding more in. We won't take away a behavior or a habit that is keeping us stuck in place. We'll just add the positive habit in, but that's not change, right? Change is actually stopping or starting something, right? So stopping one thing and starting another one. Kind of like, what would be an example? I mean, I'm terrible with it in terms of like physical health, where I will, like, maybe you start an exercise regime, but you're still eating the same way. So you're adding in a really positive, healthy habit, but you're still eating the foods that make you feel bad, right? That make your body feel dense or heavy or create brain fog, right? So you're introducing a healthy habit, but you're not changing the habits that are actually creating the discomfort in your life. That's what I mean there. Okay, so happiness. It's all about happiness. What a beautiful card. So remember, this is the time to do what gives you joy. What gives you joy? And a reminder that happiness and joy isn't about the stuff. It's about listening to the whispers of your soul and taking action, not about thinking with a logical mind about, okay, how do I be happy? And trying to like logic your way to happiness. It's about creating enough space and enough quiet so you can actually hear the whispers of your soul, because they are very subtle. The whispers of your soul are subtle. That's kind of how you know if it's your ego talking or your actual soul source talking. It'll be a lot more subtle than the constant chatter that goes on in our logical mind. You'll feel it in your body. Depending on your authority and your strategy, you'll feel it in your body in different ways, right? It might be in your sacral, it might be in your spleen. You might need to talk it out depending on what your authority is, but it will be very subtle. So make sure you're creating time and space and quiet and stillness to hear those whispers. And then from that place, you can start taking the action. All right, that's it for today. I love you all. Big, big love. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I really hope you received exactly what you needed from it. I absolutely loved sharing it with you. I'd also love to know what you thought. So please leave a comment or a review for me to respond to, or just come over and say hi on my socials. If you'd love to be a guest on the show, or maybe you have a question or a topic that you'd like me to talk about, then please send me a message. I absolutely love to connect. And really, this podcast is all about you. And your success. So tell me what you need to hear more of. If you really enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, or even better, send it to someone you know to spread the love. Let's get this authentic success movement happening. Okay, that's it from me. Big love. Now go out there and be amazing.